Hello there, on behalf of Astro Matrix, welcome. I am Marcel and I'm here today to report what's going to be happening out there in the cosmos over the next month. So for the month of October, we're going to be exploring all the aspects, the major aspects that are happening. I have two announcements to make. Firstly, if you do enjoy our content, please like and subscribe to our channel. And then secondly, I am on an island in the Philippines. I'm right on the ocean, so there's a strong probability that we're going to be hearing sound and noises, and I ask you just to be mindful that it's okay. All right, so let's dive straight in. Starting on the 29th, we have Saturn, which stations to go direct. So Saturn has been in retrograde for the last few months, and Saturn being in retrograde is a period where we're reviewing where it is in our lives that we're needing to take more responsibility, and also exploring whether we are on the right path. Are we putting the work in that is required to move forward? So when Saturn is going retrograde, it's a more internal exploration of getting clear on where it is that you need to get in check with yourself with regards to moving forward. So when it starts going direct again, it's at its most powerful, and it just so happens that on the 29th it comes into a square with Mars. So Mars is in Aries at the moment, and there's this ongoing tension that's happening between Mars and Saturn, Pluto and Jupiter in Capricorn for this month, and it's a lot to do with the individual, I have a right to exist, versus the corruption that's happening within the government and the institutions on this planet. From here we move into the 1st or the 2nd of October, depending on where you are in the world, and we have the full moon in Aries. So it's in Aries, and it's at 9 degrees, and it's in a conjunction with Chiron, which is the wound. Do I have a right to exist? It's in Aries, and this also falls in with Uranus in Taurus, which is in conjunct with Sun in Libra. So if you are interested in finding out more about this, you can head over to our site and find the full moon report for October. There are subsequently 2 full moons that will be happening for this month. But just coming back to this has a lot to do with power, where it is that you're not in balance with power within yourself. It's not only power, it's also to do with wholeness and balance within the community, working together with the community, but working with power in a healthier way, as well as coming up against the powers that are attempting to control or corrupt, or however it is that you choose to see that. So then from there, on the 3rd of March, we have Mars going into a conjunction with Aries and Black Moon Lilith. So this is all, Mars and Aries are coming into conjunction at 24 degrees. And, you know, Mars is very much the individual. It's all about I, it's about self, it's about assertion. And it's currently in a retrograde motion. So how it is that I assert myself, how it is that I take action is under review. And now it's coming into a conjunction with Aries, which is the planet of strife and discord, as well as Black Moon Lilith, which is the raw, primal, untamed feminine energy that is pretty pissed off with what is happening right now, and so taking action against wherever it is that there is corruption with the Saturn, Pluto, Jupiter conjunction. So it's not quite in a square yet, but it's a loose square with those planets, and so that tension is already starting to build. You know, there's many perspectives on what is happening on the planet right now, and my aim is not to take sides. I'm just referring to the keywords of what these themes, these aspects represent, and you can decide for yourself what it means for you. So on the 4th, we now have Pluto going direct. The 4th of October, Pluto goes direct at 22 degrees. Pluto has also been in retrograde. So last week we had Jupiter going direct. This week we have Saturn going direct. And next week we will have Pluto going direct. And this, again, it's at its most powerful when it stations to go direct. So Pluto has a lot to do with power and the imbalance of it. And wherever it lies in your chart is where you will experience themes around power. So again, very useful to see where Pluto, Saturn, Jupiter, as well as Mars and Eris lie in your chart to get a sense of the themes that will be playing out for you and what houses they're in. So with Pluto going direct, it's now about taking action with our power. It's now about moving forward with expressing that power, especially on a global level. Pluto is a generational planet. So on the 6th of October, we have Mars in its closest to the Earth. And it's very hot. Mars it has a lot of heat, but it's also at its strongest. So we could be experiencing a lot of fatigue. We could experience confusion around what it is that we should be doing, where we should be going. We may experience heat strokes or heat waves, fires. It's at its closest to the Earth, and it's still in that conjunction with Eris. So a lot of tension building up there. Then on the 8th of October, we have Mercury at 9 degrees of Scorpio. So Mercury has since moved into Scorpio. And it comes into an opposition with Uranus at 9 degrees in Taurus. So Mercury moving into Scorpio, from Libra into Scorpio, it's much more probing and intense. It wants to get to the truth. It wants to unpack and examine and understand. And so because it's in an opposition to Uranus, Uranus is the radical disruptor. It shakes things up. It wants to liberate. So there's this tension happening, and we may experience it externally wherever it is, because Scorpio can be very secretive as well. It's very private. Wherever it is that you're not allowing change to happen within your mind, because Mercury rules the mind as well as communication, this will get shaken up. So we may experience things happening around the planet, secrets being revealed, but also within your own reality. Where is it that you're needing to shift your way of thinking to get to the truth, to examine what lies under the surface and allow that to be released? Then on the 9th, we have Pluto coming into a square with Mars at 22 degrees. Now Mars is still in a slight conjunction with Eris, so that tension is very strong. It's very much about the individual up against the powers that may be, the corruption, the government, the institutions. And this could be quite an intense day on the planet, especially globally. We may experience more riots, more people taking to the streets and protesting. But on a personal level, it has to do with wherever it is that you are not in your power, with how it is that you assert yourself, that'll get shaken up. So on the 13th and the 14th, depending on where you are in the world, we have Mercury stationing retrograde, to go backwards. So Mercury is now at 11 degrees of Scorpio, and it will be in retrograde motion. It'll enter back into Libra, and then on the 3rd of November, it'll station to go direct at 25 degrees. So Mercury going retrograde, again, check to see where it falls in your chart to get a sense of which house has been explored, what house is ruled by Scorpio and Libra. And it's going backwards and really examining. It has a lot to do with technology failure and things like that. Things breaking down, things not functioning properly. But it's also about exploring and examining and probing, diving deeper into your mental faculties, how it is that you see your reality, how it is that you process information. Depending on what house it is in, will give you a deeper sense of what it is that you're exploring. On the 16th of October, we have the new moon in Libra at 23 degrees. And on the 20th, so a new moon in Libra. Libra is about balance, equality, and harmony. It's about finding the middle ground. It's about me and the other. So we've gone from this full moon in Aries, which is very much about I, to a new moon, which is about me and the other, and about balance and harmony. So new moons are a period where we can sit down and write down what it is that we want to bring into fruition from that period till the full moon, where whatever it is that we've set intentions for can come into culmination. On the 20th, we have Mercury Retrograde opposite Uranus at 9 degrees. So now Mercury is going backwards. It's very much more introspective internally within our minds, especially in Scorpio. It can be quite secretive and probing, and it's coming into an opposition again to Uranus. So it's got a different effect. It might be more internal, the experience that we're having. And then lastly, on the 31st, we have another full moon. So there's 2 full moons in 1 month, which doesn't happen very often. And this is more of a grounding moon. It's at 8 degrees of Taurus. We will be doing a report on that. So about 2 weeks from that full moon, keep your eyes posted on our channel to see what is coming up. So yeah, it's going to be an interesting month, possibly an intense month for some of you. You may be exploring, as I mentioned, themes around power, but also struggle with moving forward with this Mars retrograde, especially when it comes into the square with Saturn. It's like 1 foot on the accelerator and 1 hand on the brake, and you want to move forward but you can't, like slamming into a brick wall. There's a lot of resistance there. And you know, at the end of the day, it's really just going, who are you? What should you be doing? What are you doing? What is right for you? Where are you in your power? Where are you not in your power? There's so many retrogrades happening right now, and it's really getting us to dig things up, especially when Mercury moves into Scorpio, really examining where it is that we need to create change in our lives. And the beauty about astrology, it's not dogma. It's simply just saying, hey, look, this is what's happening, which allows you greater awareness with how it is that you choose to respond to circumstances that can potentially happen, especially around power. You know, whether it's internally, as I mentioned, or whether it's externally on a global level. Yeah, so I do wish you the best of experiences for this month. I hope that you can use these intense moments as a tool to transcend any previous outdated ways of dealing with conflict and dealing with power struggles, and how it is that you can start aligning and uniting with where it is that you should be going and what it is that you should be doing. So if you enjoyed this reading, once again, we ask you please to like and subscribe to our channel. We'd also love to hear your comments, how it is that you feel about what's happening on the planet at the moment. Do share, let us know. And then lastly, we do offer astrological readings as well as tarot readings. Once again, you can find this on the app. If you are interested in seeing what the month of October has in store for you, it's very helpful to do a reading and to get a full overview of how it's going to play out for you specifically in each of your houses. So thank you for your support and thank you for watching. Have a wonderful day. Bye for now.